Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. We've got a triple header for you tonight. We have Josh Sandland, we have Tom Little, and then we have Eddie Chambers. So you could call it a three-way battle. You could call it a triple beef when you talk about Josh Sandland, and then Tom Little's next, and then after that Eddie Chambers with Anthony Joshua. Wow, so much to talk about. But the first man we have in the room tonight, and I have to say, thank you to our regular listener, Mikey, who's on Analyze Boxing on Twitter. Big shout out to Mikey, because if it wasn't for Mikey, this interview wouldn't be happening tonight. He really wanted this interview to happen. And when we have people, I don't call them fans, but when family, the BWTM family ask for guests to come on the show, we do our best to make it happen. So without further ado, UK heavyweight, Josh Sandland. Josh, how are we doing? Josh?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you.
Good to have you in the room. So, for those people who don't know who Josh Sandland is, let them know who you are, Josh.
I'm from Halifax. I'm 25. I'm free. One loss to the next person who you've got off the line next. I lost to Tom Little, which were an absolute disgrace. But there you go.
Well, don't worry. By the end of this conversation, you'll get everything off your chest about Tom Little, and who knows what can happen afterwards.
Yeah.
Who knows, Tom Little may get furious and fight you straight afterwards. Who knows? So let's just see how things are. Let's start first and foremost about before the Little fight. Let's get to know a little bit more about Josh Sandland. So, what made you get into boxing, Josh?
Just from a young age, I've always done it to keep my fitness up from when I played rugby.
Okay.
Got introduced to a nice man called Michael Ellerwell from Elland.
Hold on a second. Hello, Josh. Josh, I'm here. It's okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here, Josh. Go ahead.
Yeah. So obviously Michael Ellerwell, he looked after me and that, and when I'd finished with my rugby, that didn't work out really well. He just says, let's go for it. So I had like 10 amateurs, 10 or 11 amateur fights. I think I lost 2, but won as much as I could in the amateurs. Very tricky to try and get opponents, so I just made a deal to go professional.
Okay. So during the amateur fights, what did you learn most in the amateur fights that you were having?
Not really, just it was like a sprint. Everyone would try go hell for leather because it's a short period of time.
Yeah.
Was it 3? How many rounds were it? 3 or 4 rounds for 3 minutes.
Yep.
So I just worked on obviously like it. Moment.
Josh, you there? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm here. Hello?
Yeah, you keep breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You keep breaking up.
Yeah, so can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, so in amateurs it were a bit difficult really because we couldn't really get that much opponents.
Okay.
So it started being a bit. When I won Yorkshire heavyweight belt, won area title.
Yep.
And I went to fight for British. I got a buyout weight at final, and nobody even turned up to fight me. So it just went on like that. And I wasted about a year trying to get a couple more fights. And I had a word with Mick and I had a word with my amateur coach John Cassidy, and he just said, "Look," he says, "you know, you're going to be wasting too much time." He says, "You might as well have a go at it." So I did. I went for it. I went to a gym in Leeds first. I have a lot of respect for them. Danny Thornton's in Leeds. Camp Detox. Some good lads there, really good lads. And Danny's a lovely fella.
Right.
Just it was too far. I spent a year over there training professionally. And it just went. It was a bit hard, and I couldn't get a fight, and I was struggling to get a fight, and this and that. And so I ended up going to a gym in Huddersfield, Chris Ashton's.
Okay.
And he just absolutely loved it. Really, really different. He was sort of my sort of person. He'd say what he thought, and that's the way it is. And he was true Yorkshireman. That's the way it is. Say it as it is. And I know it don't get you anywhere sometimes, but I've done well under him, and he's happy. So I'm happy.
The beautiful thing is when somebody tells you the truth and tells you how they feel, you don't have to worry about what they're truly thinking about you. They just tell you as it is, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's I'd rather be told, and deep down yourself, even in any sportsman will tell you this. They know deep down in the self, whether they lose, win or draw, they know the self.
Absolutely.
You know deep down.
Of course you do, absolutely. So, well, Yorkshire, talk to me about the guys that will probably been around at that time. I mean, isn't what Dave Allen would be around that sort of patch of that part of England?
I don't know. I never really. I've only really met Dave Allen a couple of times. I've sparred with Dave Allen quite a bit. He's a really nice fella.
Yes.
Top bloke. He's another one. Comes to fight, entertaining. We do this for a living, so it's. I mean, obviously they're full time now. Obviously, I'm still part time. I still work full time, but hopefully soon I'll be full time. It'll be a dream come true for me. So, but yeah, Dave Allen went around when I was. I had. I don't think you'd have ever heard of any names who I fought. It were weird. I only had about 2 fights down London.
Okay, just call the names. Call the names anyway. You can make them famous.
No, but I can't remember names. No, I can't remember names of them. You'd have to look at my amateur record. I think the one bloke from Hull I fought. He was a big fella. I think he did right well in professionals. Ryan Fuller. Okay. But I don't know what he's doing now. I don't think he's boxing anymore. But he was a really good boxer. He stopped me in first. I think he did him. Wow. He was a very big puncher. But I never sparred. I've never done much. I don't make excuses up and beat me fair and square. Good on him. But I've always fought away. You see, I've never fought at home. Okay. My hometown in Halifax, I've never fought there. I think I fought once against a lad, and I stopped him in first punch I hit him with. I stopped him. It was pretty mad, really. So other than that, I've always fought away. I've always travelled. I'm not bothered about travelling. It's never bothered me.
So you say you're working full time. Boxing's part time for you. So what are you doing? What do you do outside of boxing?
Boxing's full time and work's full time.
Oh, so boxing's it's full time. Okay, explain.
It is. Well, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll be doing my training, get to the gym. Do my cardio and do my running and stuff. Try and fit my weights in between, and then when I come home, I go straight to work. Wow. Do my work, and then if I've got to go back to the gym at night, go back to the gym, and there ain't enough time in day sometimes. I've just had a little baby, and I don't even see the little one hardly, because you go in one door and you're straight out over, and I must admit our lass has been absolutely fantastic. She supports me through everything, so it's brilliant, and my family do. So I don't think mum and dad like me boxing, but who's does? It's an hard sport.
It's what you need when you got a good woman behind you or beside you, and you got family that support you as well. That's what you need. Once you've got the family support, the world's yours, because when your family is supporting you, that really helps you. When you've got family against you, then you've got to go in the ring and fight as well. It's pretty difficult.
Yeah, well, it were hard because every gym I must admit to you, it's never been easy because everything I've had to do, even with rugby career, I've had to, we're from a rugby background. My dad played, my uncles played, really good players. You know, my brother captained Great Britain. I captained Huddersfield a couple of times. I played rugby for Huddersfield Giants. I played at Wakefield. So I've actually been on the professional circuits in a different sport, and I didn't get looked after. I got, you know, I got sacked from Huddersfield, which were a joke, but that's, you know, it's gone now. I played in Australia. I went to Australia when I was 19 on my own. You know, I had no family or friends. I left my mum and dad and went on my own.
Wow.
Played out there for a year. You know, come back home when I was about 21, and just that's when I started my boxing. But I've always done it from a young age. When I was 14, I've never, you know, I've always been super fit of what I've done. Obviously, I know I don't make my physical attributes don't show that, but anybody that spars with me or anybody that fights me, they'll know that they've been in a fight and a war, because that's what, you know, I want to do. You know, and obviously they're the same. You know, it's I enjoy the sport. I love it, and it's took a hold of me now.
Absolutely. So is this something, when you talk about it being full-time for you, where do you want to be in boxing? I mean, some people are saying, look, I'll be happy just to have an area title. I'll be happy to have a British title. Look, I want to fight for a world title. Where does Josh Sandland want to be?
Yeah. Well, I'm one of these people, and obviously you'll know yourself, even the best athletes in the world, they'll always tell you people laugh at you. I don't do stuff for a joke. I want to be a world champion. I am going to be a world champion. That's what I believe. You know, you go into gyms and they say it now and they go, oh, you won't fight him. And why wouldn't I? If I'm training hard and my team believes me around me and I believe myself, why wouldn't I go and fight anybody? I don't understand that. I'm not a negative person. I like to have people around me that's positive. Anybody that's negative, I'm not interested. But of course, I want to be a world champion. That's my dream. I've dreamed, you know, even to be a professional athlete full time where you don't have to work is a dream. You know, you can't beat doing something that you love and getting paid for it, can you? Let's be honest. Anybody will tell you that.
Absolutely, it's a dream. You know, if you're doing something that you love and you're getting paid for it, oh wow, hey.
Yeah, of course it is. And people get, and you know, and what upsets me is when you see athletes that let themselves go, and you know, behind the things, you know, I know a lot of stuff goes on, but people don't have to see that sort of stuff, do they?
No, they don't. They don't. And I think some people are in positions of, they don't realize how fortunate they are. They have all the ability in the world, but they somehow or the other find a way to self-destruct, and it's just, so it's really painful when you see people like that, and then you see people like yourselves hustling, bustling, and trying to make a living and trying to get somewhere, and wanting sponsors and wanting support, and it's more difficult. It's kind of, it's painful sometimes.
It's like Halifax is a small town, so I think what I've done so far, if I'd have been in somewhere like London or something myself, I think I'd have got sponsorship. But you know, you're trying your hardest in day-to-day life. You know, it's not easy, mate. You know, you come home. I mean, I don't beat around the bush. I'm not even interested in it. But like when I went down to London to fight Tom Little, you know, it's disgraceful when you've got a person like me who's, you know, giving it their all, and you know, you get robbed of a decision. I want to knock me down 20 times, and I still got back up and fought. Do you know what I mean? If everybody in boxing got punched and they stopped it, there'd be no boxing, would there? Everybody gets caught or everybody gets punched. Do you know what I mean? But he never hurt me. He never hurt me in one bit. So I don't understand where the referee had the right to jump in. But end of the day, listen, the referee, you've got to respect the referee and the decisions. I know deep down in my heart, everybody knows deep down in their heart, and other people that were there. So, end of the day, that's gone for me now. He's on to bigger, better things. I'm going to be on to bigger, better things. You know, by probably the time I get up there, he'll be finished, because I can't see him beating Joe Joyce.
Well, while we're at it, what?
Money the people are there.
Well, while we're at it, let's preview that fight between Joe Joyce and Tom Little. Let's preview that. What do you think of Joe Joyce?
Listen, I'll never slag anybody off.
No.
Because I'll tell you something now. There's people that stand out beside boxing rings and the best coaches in the world and this and that. You know, it takes heart and guts to get in the ring with anybody. You know, and Tom Little, you know, he's he's a good fighter. You can't. I'd never take anything away from anybody.
No.
You know, and Joe Joyce, you know, the massive men. That you see, I'm 5'10" and 17 stone. These are coming in at nearly 20 stone, at 6 foot odd. They're not little kids that you can knock out in it. These take a lot of time to, you know, to work with.
Yeah.
You know, the massive men. Mike Tyson won't fighting blokes that big.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? He were fighting lads at 15 stone, a bit less, but they were 6 foot odd. But these are they're coming in at 20 stone, ripped. You know, full of muscle. You know, you try to knock somebody out that big. You know, you're fighting somebody big. You know, it's an hard task ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But we're doing all right. You know, I don't know. Good luck to both of them. I hope, you know, best man wins on day. Good luck to both of them. That's all I'll say.
I know you. Let's talk about. I want to focus. You say you're a positive man, and I'm sure you are. Let's talk about the Akinlade fight, because that's the fight that really people stood up and said, "Oh, who's this guy? Who's this Josh Sandland?" Talk to me about the Akinlade fight. What was the setup? Because Akinlade, to me, I know Akinlade personally, and he had high hopes of being a British champion. You know, so again,
and he's another one that, you know, absolutely fantastic. Boxer, absolutely fantastic reputation. He's sparred with loads of people. He's been amateur champion, this and that. You know, and I'd never slag him off. You know, he said horrible things to me on social media, which is quite funny. You know, end of the day, but everybody does. But yeah, you know, I had 4 weeks to train for fight. I got a phone call off Chris. We had a meeting, and he says, "Look, I've got you a big fight coming up." Obviously, he was in the top 10 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "We've seen his videos." He says, "You're going to beat him." And I went, "No problem. If you believe I'll beat him, let's go for it." We agreed the fight. I went down London, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. We're having breakfast. There's a little cafe in London, and all fighters and all refs and that go over to this little cafe in London before. And we got down there pretty early, and Brendan, the lad who helps train me, he showed me a video of him pissing about on phone. I'm just going for my breakfast now. You know, not even interested in what happened about me. He said he was going on to bigger, better things against Gorman and this and that. And he just said he's not even interested in you. And I knew myself in my heart that I could beat him if I put the time and effort in, and I did. For 4 weeks, I trained really hard, and I beat him. And nobody can take that away from me. I beat him fair and square.
You beat a guy that was.
Every round.
Yeah, you beat a guy that was in the top 10, was going places. He was flying. He was on his way to a British title fight. He was the English champion. He had the English championship, I believe, if I was right, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So he was flying.
But he was London area champion. He was very respectful down London. You know, I think it's funny because people were saying, "Look at this fat, look at the state of this fat dustbin man," and all this. I think it's funny, mate. They were going, "He'll get killed." But you know, I've always been brought up, never judge a book by its cover, and I'd rather look like nothing and beat somebody, look like something and be nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you there. I get you. So when you won the fight, what did Akinlade say to you afterwards?
I never really spoke to him much afterwards. If when you see the video, he was very upset. I think a lot of people say, you know, when he fought Gorman, like Ricky Hatton said that he'd be finished, and he's knocked him off top 10. But I knocked him off the top 10. I destroyed he's finished now, isn't it? He ain't even fighting anymore, I've heard.
He got stopped by Martin Bacol in the first round.
Yeah, but you see, you can't underestimate nobody. Not in this game, and not how heavy they punch. They hit hard.
Mm.
People don't realise this. You can't take your eye off the ball with anybody.
How much do you think social media is affecting boxing today, in particular boxers? Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat.
I must admit, I'm old school, mate. I don't like phones. I could throw it in bin now. I hate them. Twitter and stuff. But you see, how are you meant to get forward when you've got to keep up with the 21st century? You know, it's strange, isn't it? It's definitely took over everything.
It has.
But I'm not one of these who like to pose and, you know, take videos of yourself and do this. I'm not into stuff like that.
As one of our listeners, go ahead. As one of our listeners, Mr. Boxing Today too, he covers. Or if you want to look at YouTube, he covers all the heavyweights. Even yourself has been covered, all the heavyweights.
Yeah.
That's his speciality. And shout out to Mr. Boxing Today, by the way. I forgot what I was going to say. I knew I was going to say something to you. In terms of covering in social media, I would say that he says his statement is that there's two types of training. There's Instagram training and there's real training. You know, a lot of people posing on Instagram.
But you see, well, that's it, innit? But I train hard, mate. I train hard, and you know, I don't just train in the gym. I train away from the gym. You know, what makes me laugh is my body doesn't look like I do.
Right.
But believe me, I train, and these lads couldn't even do half of training I do away from there.
I think people are kind of misguided by looking at, if you've got a body beautiful, that means you can do 12 rounds no problem. But yet, if you look a bit podgy or you look a little bit out of shape, that means you're not in shape. But that's not actually the truth.
Tyson Fury, look what he did.
Look at him. Exactly.
You know, you can look at George Foreman, what he did at nearly 50-odd-year-old.
There you go. It's whether you're effective. Can you go the 12 rounds?
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And if you're effective, that's what matters. I mean, that's what it's about.
That's it, innit?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
I know when I fight that I'm 100% right, otherwise I won't get in the ring. That's it, end of story. I wouldn't fight. It'd be a waste of time.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to this Tom Little thing because it's something there that needs to be resolved and dealt with. I mean, I've seen no footage of the fight, so I don't know. I've tried to look for it on YouTube. In fact, I heard at first I thought he'd beat you on points, but then I went to BoxRec to look at it, and I saw TKO. And then I was asking.
Did you see the referee's name as well?
No, I didn't. What was the referee's name?
This guy called Mikey's been going mad on social media.
Yeah, yes. So, who was it? Who was the referee? What was the referee's name?
I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. They tried to get his name afterwards, and he just disappeared.
Houdini?
Chris Ashton took a photo with the referee.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give him his card. They refused to give him his card details, you know, for thing.
Yeah.
And he just disappeared.
So where was this? Where was this fight then?
I fought York Hall.
Oh, okay, Bethnal Green. Okay.
It's like my second home, that.
Yeah. Well, it's my first home. I used to live around the corner from there, so yes, it's home for me. So this referee disappeared. Have you not lodged an appeal or anything like that, or?
Oh, it's like Chris thing, and you're going backwards, and not only that, what they're going to say? They've tarnished my record. Would they, right? Let me say this thing to you, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we've just spoke.
Yes.
Right. I'm 2-0, right? I was 2-0. Going into a fight against somebody who's a really good fighter, Tom Little, right?
Okay.
Who's lost before to Dominic Accolade, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, we're meant to be the British eliminator for the British title, right?
Okay.
So imagine me winning that after 3 fights, not full time, and winning it and getting in the top 10 in Britain after 3 fights. Has it ever been done?
I'm not sure.
No.
Sure. There could be.
Never.
The other.
So how are they?
Go ahead.
But how are they? But I mean, how are they going to ever, like, you know? It never happened. They never let me do that. It was obvious they were not going to let me win. When that did that, I just thought, well, that's obvious, isn't it? Our referee can jump in and stop it. It's beyond me, but you know. I understand if I'd have been really hurt, I could have held my hands up. You know, I'm an honest person. I'd have turned around and said, look, I were hurt, you know, he beat me fair and square, but he didn't.
So So if I wasn't at the fight, but if you're going to tell me the story as how the fight went, and for many people who didn't see the fight, what was going on in your opinion from round one to what happened?
Right. Well, this is honest, so I don't know what he'd say, but first round he took, second round he took, third round I took, fourth round I took, stopped it. There you go. That's plain and simple.
So he won the first two. You came back in the second fight.
Well, I knew we were going to come out quick.
Yep.
There were no way on earth he wasn't gonna. Everything went to plan. What we planned. He'd come out for the first two rounds thing, and he'll tire, and he were tired. And I took the lead, carried to take the lead, and all I know is that were it. I couldn't tell you anymore, mate. I really couldn't.
So wait, did he catch you with a big punch, or
no.
What happened? I mean, somehow the referee got in and stopped the fight.
He punched me.
Yeah.
But I went back.
Yeah.
To come back in with a 1-2, and that was it. I went to the ref. I went, "What are you doing?" He went, "That's it." He stopped.
What?
Over. He went, "It's over." I went, "Over for what?" And Chris Ashton jumped in ring. Went mental like he does on many occasions. Brendan were all crowd were booing. Listen, if I could tell you, I don't know. I really don't know. But
it's a shame nobody.
It's gone now, isn't it? I can't do nothing about it.
It was a shame it wasn't recorded. Oh, check this out. I was watching Tom Little's record, and he had win. Yeah. And now he's got this fight with Joe Joyce. Now I'm wondering to myself, had you beaten Tom Little, would you have been fighting Joe Joyce instead?
Oh, I don't know. I think he's called him out quite a lot. Apparently, he calls Dave Allen out quite a lot as well. But I'm not into stuff like, if they want to fight, they fight. End of the day. Well, I don't know, but apparently that's what they do nowadays. They call everybody out.
Does it now put does it put a dampener on your spirit or your mindset, or in terms of what?
I must admit, it really upset me. Do you know what I mean? I just thought, hey, it's happened again in another sport. I've been robbed. But end of the day, it's life, innit? And you just got to keep going forward. There's always hurdle after hurdle with me, so why not have another hurdle to go over again? Yeah,
but it's unnecessary, though, isn't it? I mean, there's hurdles in life anyway.
What can you do about it? Well, I know, but end of the day, what can I do? I'm not a big ticket teller at home, so I've got to travel. They think you're a journeyman, but you're not a journeyman. It's in the pudding that I am a journeyman, but they still class you as a journeyman because you go away. What do you do? I'm up in a small town with good family and friends and people who do support me. And £40 for a ticket up here, some people struggle to pay. It's a lot of money, and it's a lot of money. £40. You could pay £60 and go and watch Joshua for £20 more, and he's a world champion. Do you know what I mean?
I think the power of social media is incredible. I believe in it, and I believe if there are people in social media that will back you, Josh, and we're more than happy to back and support you and give you the exposure that's necessary, then I believe that your career can turn around in the sense that you can fight. I just need more people to just keep talking about you and keep talking about you and getting more fans to come out and see you.
I'm absolutely honoured. Honestly, I had an interview yesterday with a guy called Craig.
Yes.
I'm absolutely honoured you even want an interview with me. I'm honoured. It's absolutely fantastic for me. I think it's brilliant. I'm truly honoured. It's exciting. It's good. I like to do stuff like this. I've dreamed of doing stuff like this when I was young and that. So
the thing is, Josh, media, as far as I'm concerned, the purpose of media or the platform that we have in BWTM Sports is to provide a platform for people to speak their truth, right? Regardless of where they're at, whether they're a world champion or they're at grassroots. Everybody is the same. There's no sort of because he's a world champion, we've got to give extra time for that person. I know what that feels like. And so therefore, when people like you come along and have situations like this, we want to back you even more so, because that's what it's about. That's what media is about, to tell the story.
Yeah.
And
it's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And listen, you're a man that works hard at what you do. And I believe you're going to get the breaks. I think, you know, you may look back at this in a year's time and think, hey, it may have been a blessing in disguise. It certainly opened your eyes up to things that you probably weren't aware of or didn't think could happen to you before.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I know, yeah.
And there'll be somebody who'll think, oh, that's Sandland. He's been stopped already. I'll come and have a go. So the fact that you're no longer beaten, even though you know you didn't get stopped, there'll be fighters out there think, oh, I'll take my chances with him. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, you never know, do you? Yeah.
And of course, if now Tom Little goes out there and gets absolutely splattered by Joe Joyce, then people say, oh, he got stopped by Tom Little. Who did Tom Little fight last? Oh, he fought Josh Sandland. Oh, we'll take him on. You see, it can work that way as well.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can look at it that way as well. It's not exactly the way you'd want it to be, but it's another way of looking at it to your advantage. So when will you be back in the ring again?
I've got a fight scheduled in Halifax on 15th of December.
Okay.
So everything's going to plan so far.
Do you know who the opponent is?
No, I don't. No, I don't at the moment. I think they're going to try and get somebody. It'll be somebody pretty decent, knowing my luck. I've always had fights.
Well,
so far.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. They're just waiting on confirmation through Chris and that. So.
Is Dorian Darch available?
I don't know. Who's he. I don't know.
He's somebody.
I just get a phone.
He's in the British. He's in the British heavyweight division.
Call and say, "Listen, do you want to fight?" And I'll go, "Who is it?" Oh, so and so. Right, okay. I'm not picky.
You're okay. So you've got a fight in December the 15th. I hope it's somebody.
Yeah.
I hope it's somebody in the British rankings. I really do. I hope it's somebody in the British rankings.
Yeah.
And I hope it's somebody that will be able to boost your rankings and get yourself up there. When would you like, in your mind, to fight for something like an area title? In your mind?
Well, it depends on what Chris thinks and that. So I think 2018 will be a big year for me. You know, I need to get back in that top 10 where I think I belong. You know, there's a lot happening in that level. There's some really good fighters higher up.
Yep.
Everybody's trying to get some fights. So, you know, we all should be made to fight each other. You know, it's entertaining for the fans. They want to see stuff like that. And, you know, I've only been at this game 2 years, and it's, you know, I love it. I think it's brilliant. And you listen to some of them and they're talking, you're thinking, Christ, you're full time. What's the matter with you? You've got to get up for work in a minute. In the morning.
Charlie C asked the question: would you consider fighting DL Jones?
I don't know who he is, but yeah, whatever.
You don't mind? Okay, so you fight in December the 15th, which is great. For people who want to follow you or want to know more about your career, how do people follow you on Twitter?
It's JD Sandland. It is JD Sandland. That's my Twitter name.
Yep.
So if you want to follow me and that, you know, you're more than welcome. It'd be an honour for you to follow me. I really appreciate it if you do. So yeah.
And
I'll probably follow you back because I'm a nice guy.
Do you have any? Do you have a Facebook page?
No, I don't have no lot. I don't even know how to work Twitter. My girlfriend does half of it.
All right. Well,
I'm old school. I'm not into this stuff.
Okay, let's talk about, before you go, let's talk about guys, the heavyweight division, Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. What do you think about that fight?
I think it's a good fight. I think Joshua's a good champion, and you know, the things are always bright for him, aren't they? He's had a really good start in stuff with Eddie Hearn, and you know, he's looked after him and he's done well by him. And same with Deontay Wilder, he's had some good fights, and it'd be a great fight, wouldn't it? Everybody wants to see it, so let it happen. So let it happen. Let it happen.
Who do you think would win?
I don't know. I think Joshua's a very good boxer, isn't he? And I think listen, they're both big hitters, aren't they?
Yeah.
If any of them catch him, it's a 50-50 fight, no matter what anybody says.
Yeah, right.
They're both good champions. I mean, what he did to Stiver, and when I watched the first fight of Stivern versus Wilder,
yep,
and that Stivern's no mug. He can take a lot of hammer in.
Yeah.
And what he did, I mean, I don't know if he was fit for the fight or anything like that, but he got him out of there pretty quick, didn't he?
He did indeed. Would you ever consider a fight between yourself and Ian Lewson?
I think I've seen him fight once or twice. Where was that? He fought Joey Joyce, hasn't he?
He fought George Joyce. Yep, and he fought Dillian White. I mean, that's not a bad fight as well.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, isn't he? Yeah, I don't see, as long as my managers and my thing, I don't know I don't know what sort of path they want me to go down. I don't know. It's whatever they say, and I'm not really fussed. As long as I'm fit and I'm healthy and I feel good, I'll fight anybody. I'm not one of these people who like to shy away. I don't want to be known as, he ducked him and he ducked him, and I'm not that sort of person. So as long as they say it's all right and obviously Mick, my other coach, is happy with me, and that we'll go anybody. It's not a problem. Okay,
I think I definitely need to have a word with Chris Ashton. Definitely need to have a word with him. And hear what.
Yeah. Oh, he's a lovely fella, Chris. People like they all are up Yorkshire.
I've been trying to get hold of Chris Ashton. I've been trying to get interview with him for ages. So if you could get that sorted, that would be great as well.
I'll have a word with him when I see him next, and have a chat with him and see what he says. But he'd be more than happy to have an interview. He likes his limelight, Chris.
It'd be fantastic. I'd love to hear his views on what he thought of the stoppage and all the rest of it. That'd be great. That'd be absolutely great. Josh Sandland, thank you so much for talking to BWTM Sports. Welcome to BWTM Sports family, and we look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. It's an honour. Thank you.
You take care, champ. All the best.
Yeah, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So there we have it. Josh Sandland, the heavyweight that's making a bit of a noise and upset at the fact that he got stopped by Tom Little. A lot of people think this stoppage was very controversial and very suspect. Believe it or not, we're talking to Tom Little next. So join us back in about 15 minutes, 8 o'clock. We'll be talking to Tom Little to hear his side of things. I'm sure it might be a little different what he's got to say, but hey, there's two sides to every story. There's two sides to every story. I guess. Well, there's three sides. There's a Sanderland side, there's Tom Little side, and then there's the truth. Join us back in about 15 minutes here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and of course, hit the bell in the corner. You hit the bell in the corner, you'll get notification of when we go live. Thank you so much. This is BWTM Sports, and we'll see you in 15 minutes with the man named as Tom Little.